Greenville County DSS is investigating the death of a 1-year-old boy.
Officials tell us that boy died at a hospital after EMS was called to his daycare. Our Kylie Jones with more on this tonight. Kylie, just a heartbreaking story.
Yeah, Carol, just such a sad story tonight. The Greenville County coroner says that little boy died at the hospital. It started with a call about a child choking. A 911 call Monday morning sent first responders to Bumblebee Daycare and Learning Center. Greenville County Dispatch says the call came in about a child choking.
The fire department and EMS responded, and they quickly let us know that the child was in cardiac arrest.
A 1-year-old boy, the coroner says. Dill says first responders tried to resuscitate that little boy and give advanced life support while rushing him to Prisma Greenville Memorial Hospital, where he died.
We run across this several times each year, and it's usually a young child that is in some form of eating when something like this happens.
The Department of Social Services is now investigating. In a statement, it said, quote, "The Department of Social Services is aware of the child care-related death in Greenville County and is investigating in coordination with local law enforcement." The Sheriff's Office says no foul play is suspected.
And we try to learn from each story to see if there's something that could be done to help another family so they don't have to go through this.
Now, we did reach out to that daycare staff, say the incident is just still so fresh. It hopes to share a statement later this week. Carol.
What's good, guys? This story is coming out of Greenville, South Carolina. Came out on July the 19th. And I want to thank my good friend Marie722 for sending it to me. Child dies at hospital after being found unresponsive at a daycare in Greenville. A 1-year-old child died at a hospital Monday after being found unresponsive at a daycare on Rocky Creek Road, according to the Greenville County Coroner's Office. The Greenville County Sheriff's Office and the Coroner's Office responded to Bumblebee Daycare for a choking incident involving the child, according to the Coroner's Office. The child was found in cardiac arrest by emergency personnel, the Coroner's Office said in an emailed statement. The child was put on advanced life support while on the way to the hospital, but died there. And I want to explain just briefly what advanced life support could mean. Advanced life support could be anything as an IV. You would have to have a paramedic on board, and it could be something simple like an IV, EKG. That's what advanced life support means. It doesn't mean he was on a life support machine. I just wanted to clarify that. A Sheriff's Office spokesperson said the death seems accidental. The case remains under investigation, according to the coroner. Shadavia Rosemond said her 1-year-old son, Zion Lee Watson, was in his first day at Bumblebee Daycare and Learning Center, and she said she was in her 3rd day working there when he died Monday morning. Shadavia Rosemond stood across the street from the daycare on Wednesday afternoon and said her son was found unresponsive after choking. "He was my everything," Rosemond said, fighting off tears. "I loved that child. A piece of me is gone." Rosemond said she worked in a nearby room with 2-year-olds. She said her son was brought to her limp and unresponsive on Monday morning. Zion was found unresponsive at about 8:30 a.m., according to the Coroner's Office report. The Greenville County Sheriff's Office and the Coroner's Office responded to the daycare. Zion was found in cardiac arrest by emergency personnel and put on advanced life support while on the way to the hospital and died at the hospital, according to previous coverage. A Sheriff's Office spokesperson said the death seems accidental, but the case is still under investigation, according to the coroner. The State Department of Social Services, who manages all state and federal child care programs, said in an email that they are aware of the child's death and are investigating along with local law enforcement. Rosemond said she has not heard from DSS.
Today we find it necessary to address the media with some questions and concerns the family has. Because although we don't have many answers, I will speak on what we do know. Last Thursday was little Zion's mother, Shadavia's, first day working at Bumblebee Daycare. She started her day off as usual. She worked Thursday and Friday. and she enjoyed the weekend with her 1-year-old son, preparing him for his first day at daycare, which will be Monday. On Monday morning at approximately 6:15, baby Zion went to his 1-year-old classroom with his teacher. His mother, Shadavia, was assigned to the 2-year-old classroom, which was feet away. She checked in on her son at around 7:15 and noticed that he had been crying. She contacted a family member and asked for them to come and pick him up because she didn't want his first day at daycare to be traumatic. Upset, and she knows because she's worked in child 7 years, she knows this is normal for children. It was her baby, her miracle baby, who was upset. So she called for her family to come and pick him up. Her family was en route to pick little Zion up, but unfortunately, upon arrival, they saw an ambulance. Now, inside the school, something else was happening. You see, the questions and concerns are ours because from 7:15, where she saw her baby sitting in a chair for what appeared to be crying, to 8:15, when a teacher rushed into her classroom with the lifeless body of her son in her arms. She handed Shadavia her deceased child. The family tells me that his lips were already purple. His body was completely limp. His mother asked at that moment, like, what happened? What's wrong? They said it appeared that he choked on a goldfish cracker. She asked if anyone did CPR. She ran to the office and they began to do mouth-to-mouth on him. EMS arrived and they came in and they did an amazing job. They worked on him for several hours. But the lapse in time from when she last saw her baby to the time when he was put in her arms, deceased, the answer still remained. The question still remained, what happened to little Zion? If he strangled, was anyone in that classroom certified to administer CPR? If he strangled, was there another teacher, or were there teachers in the classroom that could come to his aid, or was he in the classroom alone? You see, this daycare has several violations. And one of the many violations that they've had in 2021 was lack of training for CPR. So as I say, the questions remain. And I'm going to allow his aunt, Felicia, to speak. And then after that, Shadavia's going to say some words.
I just was wondering why did my sister have to approach the room after being notified and had her lifeless baby. Upon approaching, watching her baby being passed around. No CPR performed at this time, no any maneuvers or anything. Just passed from teacher to teacher and then placed in her arms and then removed from her arms, ran to the office and started mouth to mouth. Why? I want to know what happened to lead to this incident. Prior to them approaching her, they approached her room and asked her prior to this incident, was a blanket Zion's? And she replied, no, the blanket is not Zion's. Later, minutes later, approached again, come out. And when she approached, she saw her lifeless baby being passed around, then placed in her arms, then removed, and then ran to the office and began mouth to mouth. Why was this baby placed? Why wasn't CPR going on during this time? Why? And then you're gonna go get her? You walked in the room for the blanket. So why wasn't she notified during the time of choking? Why? day of daycare, his very first day, while my other sister was en route to get him to find out that he had passed. He was my everything. He was my everything. I love that child, y'all. I love him so much. A piece of me is gone. A piece of me is gone. I love that child. I love him so much. And to have him taken, I don't know. I don't know how I'm gonna make it after this. I don't know.
The fact remains, Zion's first day of daycare should not be his last day of living. He had many wonderful days and years ahead of him. For what appeared to have been incompetence, negligence on the part of a daycare. We have laws, policies that govern daycares, child care facilities in this state, in this county. We are calling on DHEC, DSS, the Sheriff's Office, and other agencies within Greenville County to make sure Bumblebee and other daycare facilities like it are following the guidelines, the procedures set forth by the local agencies, the governing bodies in the state of South Carolina, so that no other family have to experience the tragedy that this family is going through.
Bumblebee Daycare and Learning Center said they were not allowed to speak until they were given permission from DSS. Then it went on to say, in the next sentence, the daycare said it would send a statement this week. In a February 8 state inspection record, the daycare was not compliant with at least one person with CPR and first aid on the premises. A follow-up visit on March the 9th, a month later, listed the daycare in compliance. The daycare has had 10 high violations in 2021, which are the most serious and pose a risk to the health and safety of the children, according to the South Carolina Child Care Early Care and Education. The daycare would not confirm if Rosemond worked at the daycare.
We learned a little bit more about little Zion. He was considered his mother's miracle baby after she lost twins earlier last year, and they are just hoping for some answers in what happened to him. Now, she shared some videos of Zion with us as she copes with him not being here anymore. And his mother is holding on to those memories and her loved ones as they push for answers. The day he died was his first day at the daycare, where his mother was also offered a job. Now they are waiting for the official cause of death to decide how they will move forward.
He was my everything. He was my everything. I love that child, y'all. I love him so much. A piece of me is gone.
And Traci Fant with Upstate Freedom Fighters says they are working to get more information about what happened, but they say ultimately another parent was performing CPR on Zion before EMS arrived. We did reach out to the daycare multiple times, and today they told us that they were advised by DSS not to make a statement.
Zion Lee Watson was pronounced dead at the hospital at 10 o'clock a.m. The Greenville County Sheriff's Office said no foul play is suspected in the death. The cause of death has not been released. The coroner says it will take some time to figure out exactly what happened. The South Carolina Department of Social Services released a statement that said, "The Department of Social Services is aware of the child care-related death in Greenville County and is investigating in coordination with local law enforcement." This is just a really, really sad story. Here you have a mother who got a job at the daycare that she's about to take her son to, her precious only child. She starts a couple of days before his first day, spent the weekend preparing him to go to daycare. He's in the next room at the daycare on his very first day, and this happens? Come on, man. Come on. This is terrible. Terrible. This woman has to be in an immense amount of pain. She had just lost a set of twins the previous year. Just a very sad story. My heart goes out to Shadavia and her family. This has got to be a severe strain on the family. So I want to send my prayers and my thoughts and everything to the family, and I'm going to end the video on that note. Thanks for watching, guys.